Your bank has already taken money from you this year, and the terrifying part is, you probably did not even notice it was gone. No alert, no warning, no phone call. Just a quiet, legal withdrawal from the fixed pension income you have spent your entire working life building. Right now, at this very moment, millions of Canadian seniors receiving CPP and OAS are losing hundreds of dollars annually to banking fees, account charges, and ATM costs that they are either not legally required to pay or that the federal government has already made illegal. The banks know this, and they are counting on you never finding out. But today, that changes. Stay with us for the next few minutes, because what you are about to hear could put real money back in your pocket starting this week. Welcome to Global Updates 24, the channel dedicated entirely to bringing you the financial news, pension updates, and banking changes that actually matter to your everyday life. If you are watching this for the first time, please subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you never miss a critical update that could protect your retirement income. If this video is already giving you value, tap the like button and share it immediately with someone you know who is receiving a pension, because this information is too important to keep to yourself. Now, let us get straight into the facts, because in 2026, Canada's banking rules have undergone some of the most significant consumer-facing changes in recent memory, and pensioners are right at the centre of it. To understand why these changes matter so deeply to Canadian pensioners, you need to first understand the problem they were designed to fix. For years, decades, in fact, Canada's largest financial institutions operated under a system that effectively punished people for being poor. The mechanism was called an NSF fee, which stands for non-sufficient funds. This is the charge your bank applies when a payment goes out of your account and there is not quite enough money to cover it. Sounds straightforward. But the reality of how this fee was applied was anything but fair. Until March of this year, banks including Royal Bank of Canada, TD, Scotiabank, CIBC, and BMO were charging between $45 and $48 every single time this happened. Every single time. Not once a month, not once a week. Every individual transaction that came up short could trigger a separate $48 penalty. And for a pensioner living on a fixed monthly income, the timing of when your pension lands versus when your bills go out is not always perfectly synchronized. Your CPP payment might arrive on the 27th. Your electricity bill might go out on the 25th. 2 days, a 2-day gap, and a $48 punishment for it. The cruelty of this system was never more visible than in the data. More than 1 in 3 Canadians, approximately 34% of the entire population, faced at least one NSF fee every single year. That represents roughly 15.8 million NSF transactions recorded in Canada in 2023 alone. And when researchers broke that number down by age group and income level, one finding stood out clearly. Seniors on fixed incomes were among the hardest hit. People who could least afford a $48 penalty were the ones receiving it most frequently. That reality did not escape the attention of the federal government. And on March 12, 2026, everything changed. On that date, a new regulation came into force across every federally regulated financial institution in Canada. From that point forward, NSF fees for personal and joint bank accounts are legally capped at $10. Not $45, not $48, $10. That is a reduction of up to 80% from what banks were previously permitted to charge. This was formally announced by the Honourable François-Philippe Champagne, Canada's Minister of Finance and National Revenue, and it took immediate effect. No transition period, no phase-in window. The cap applied from day one. The Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, the FCAC, is now responsible for monitoring compliance across every bank in the country, because consumer protection laws are only as powerful as their enforcement, and Canadians deserve to know there is a watchdog with real authority ensuring these rules are actually followed. The government did not stop at the $10 cap, however. It built 2 additional layers of protection into the same legislation, and both of them matter enormously for seniors. First, a bank is now prohibited from charging more than one NSF fee within any 2 business day window on the same account. In the old system, if your account triggered an NSF situation in the morning and a second payment attempted to clear that same afternoon, you could be hit with 2 separate charges before you even had the opportunity to make a deposit. That double billing practice is now explicitly illegal. Second, if the amount your account is short by is less than $10, the bank cannot charge you any NSF fee at all. If you are $9 short, you are not charged a fee that exceeds your actual shortfall. These protections are practical, grounded in real life, and designed with the most financially vulnerable Canadians in mind. The projected financial impact of these changes is remarkable. The Department of Finance estimates that the $10 NSF cap alone will save Canadians approximately $619 million in the very first year of implementation. Over a 10-year period, that figure rises to $4.1 billion returned to everyday Canadians. $4.1 billion that under the previous system was simply being taken. When you look at those numbers, the scale of what was happening to ordinary Canadians, to your neighbours, to your parents, to pensioners across this country, becomes impossible to ignore. But the NSF cap is only one piece of a much larger picture. Because alongside the fee reforms, Canada's major banks also entered into a modernised banking commitment that came into full effect on December 1st, 2025. Under this commitment, signed by 14 federally regulated financial institutions, including all 6 of Canada's largest banks, every Canadian can now open a bank account with a monthly fee of no more than $4, with up to 50% more debit transactions included than were previously standard at that price point. That improvement matters. But what matters far more to a specific group of Canadian seniors is what sits above it. If you receive the Guaranteed Income Supplement, the GIS, you are legally entitled to a completely free bank account. Not $4 a month, not $2 a month, zero. The Guaranteed Income Supplement is a non-taxable monthly payment added on top of your old age security benefit. It exists specifically for lower-income seniors who need additional financial support. GIS recipients are identified by the federal government as among the most financially vulnerable Canadians, and as a direct result, the law requires every federally regulated bank to provide them with a no-cost account. There is no application process that costs you money. There is no catch buried in fine print. It is your legal right. If you are currently receiving the GIS and paying any monthly banking fee whatsoever, you are paying for something the law says you are entitled to receive for free. Walk into your branch this week. Call your bank directly. Tell them clearly that you receive the Guaranteed Income Supplement and that you want to be transferred to a no-cost account. Bring documentation of your GIS status if they ask for it. And if a bank representative makes this process unnecessarily difficult, contact the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, because that institution is failing to comply with its legal obligations. Beyond GIS recipients, Canada's major banks have been expanding and improving their senior-specific banking products heading into 2026. CIBC offers its Smart for Seniors account to customers aged 65 and older, providing up to 12 free monthly transactions with no monthly fee attached. TD Bank offers monthly fee rebates to customers aged 60 and over on select account types, and its premium banking plan includes free personalized checks, a complimentary small safety deposit box, and 0 ATM fees at any machine across Canada, with the monthly fee waived entirely for customers who maintain a minimum balance. Scotiabank extends senior discounts beginning at age 60, and RBC offers its own set of senior-focused account features. Here is the part that catches most pensioners off guard. Your bank will not automatically move you to a senior account or apply your senior discount the moment you reach the qualifying age. In most cases, you have to ask. You need to contact your bank, whether in person at a branch or by telephone, and explicitly request that your account be converted or that your discount be applied. This is not a loophole. This is not a technicality. This is money you have earned the right to, sitting uncollected month after month simply because no one at your financial institution took the time to inform you that it existed. Now let us address ATM fees, because for many seniors who prefer to manage their finances with physical cash, this is where real money quietly disappears every single month. Using your own bank's ATM, a machine that belongs to your bank's network, is generally included within your monthly account allowance and costs you nothing. The problem begins the moment you use a machine that belongs to a different bank. Out-of-network ATMs across Canada typically charge between $2 and $5 per withdrawal. And in addition to that fee from the other bank's machine, your own bank may add a further charge, often around $2, simply for using a machine outside their network. For a pensioner making 2 or 3 such withdrawals every week, these fees accumulate to $30, $40, or even $50 each month. That is money taken not in one obvious charge, but in small, easily overlooked amounts that add up quietly over the course of a year. The solution is straightforward. Always use your own bank's ATM whenever possible. Every major bank in Canada provides tools on their website and mobile app to help you locate free in-network machines near your home. If you prefer not to use digital tools, simply call your branch and ask them where the nearest in-network ATMs are in your area. Plan your withdrawals once a week in a larger amount rather than making multiple small trips. Each unnecessary visit to an out-of-network machine is a preventable fee. There is also a notable change to how quickly you can access deposited funds. Through Bill C-115, the government has updated check hold rules to increase the amount immediately accessible after a deposit from $100 to $250. For pensioners who still receive certain payments or reimbursements by check, this means a larger portion of your deposited funds becomes available to you right away, without the waiting period that previously applied to the full amount. The government has committed to further reducing check hold periods, so this is an area that continues to evolve in favour of consumers. Turning to the broader pension picture for 2026, Canada Pension Plan payments increased by 2% effective January of this year. That is below the 2.6% increase in 2025 and the 4.4% increase in 2024, reflecting a cooling of inflation as measured by Statistics Canada using price data from 2024 through October 2025. The increase should have been applied automatically to your payments. If your CPP amount did not change in January and you are unsure why, contact Service Canada through your My Service Canada account portal or reach their helpline directly because that increase is yours by right. Old age security is indexed to inflation on a quarterly basis. The January to March 2026 quarter reflected a 0.3% increase, representing an overall 2% rise over the preceding 12 months. One of the most important features of OAS for pensioners to understand is that it does not decrease if inflation falls. It can hold steady or rise, but it never moves in the wrong direction. If you deferred your OAS beyond age 65, each month of deferral added 0.6% to your benefit, with a maximum 36% increase achievable by waiting until age 70. For anyone still making that decision, the long-term arithmetic is significant. On the income tax side, 2026 marks the first complete calendar year in which the federal government's lowered bottom income tax rate applies throughout. The rate was reduced from 15% to 14% effective July 2025, meaning the full benefit of that cut is felt across all 12 months of the 2026 tax year. The basic personal amount, the income threshold below which no federal income tax is owed, stands at $16,452 for 2026. This translates to a tax saving worth up to $233 for most Canadians in the lowest income bracket. For pensioners whose total income sits close to or below that threshold, the combination of this rate cut and the raised personal amount represents a meaningful improvement in their effective take-home income. The tax-free savings account annual contribution limit remains at $7,000 for 2026. For seniors who have not fully utilised their TFSA room over the years and have money sitting in a regular savings account earning minimal interest, moving those funds into a TFSA could produce a compounding financial benefit that grows more valuable with every passing year. If you were born in 1991 or earlier and have never contributed to a TFSA, your cumulative room has now reached $95,000. Before we conclude, there is one additional area that cannot be ignored when discussing banking safety for seniors, and that is the growing threat of elder financial fraud. Canadians over the age of 60 are disproportionately targeted by financial scammers, and the tactics used continue to grow more sophisticated each year. The most common scheme involves a phone call from someone claiming to represent your bank, the Canada Revenue Agency, or law enforcement. The caller creates urgency. They tell you that your account has been compromised, that you owe unpaid taxes, or that you are the target of a fraud investigation, and then they ask you to take action, to confirm your account details, to provide your PIN, or in some cases, to physically withdraw cash from an ATM and transfer it to a so-called safe account. This is the single most important thing you need to know and share with everyone you care about. No legitimate bank and no genuine government agency will ever call you and ask for your PIN, your full account number, or instruct you to withdraw cash from an ATM, not under any circumstance, not with any level of urgency. If you receive a call like that, hang up immediately. Do not engage, do not verify, do not provide any information at all. If you are genuinely concerned that your account may have been compromised, call the number printed on the back of your own bank card. That is the only number you should ever trust in that situation. Finally, if you are still receiving your CPP, OAS, or GIS payments by paper check, we strongly encourage you to make the switch to direct deposit as soon as possible. Direct deposit ensures your payment arrives in your account on the scheduled date, every time, without any risk of the check being lost in transit, delayed by postal disruption, or stolen from your mailbox. The switch can be made through your My Service Canada account online, by calling Service Canada directly, or by visiting any Service Canada centre in person. It typically takes 1 to 2 payment cycles to take effect, so the sooner you make the call, the sooner your payments are fully protected. Here is the complete picture for 2026. NSF fees are now capped at $10, down from up to $48. No more than one NSF fee can be charged within any 2 business day window. No NSF fee can be charged at all if your shortfall is under $10. GIS recipients are entitled to a completely free bank account by law. Low-cost accounts of $4 per month or less are now available to all Canadians. CPP payments rose 2% in January. OAS is indexed quarterly and cannot decrease. The federal income tax rate at the lowest bracket has been reduced, and direct deposit remains the safest, most reliable way to receive your pension. Every one of these facts represents a right or a protection that belongs to you, but rights only protect you if you know they exist and if you act on them. Outro. That is your complete financial briefing on Canada's new ATM and banking rules for 2026, and what every pensioner receiving CPP or OAS needs to know right now. At Global Updates 24, our only job is to make sure you are never the last to know about changes that affect your money, your pension, and your retirement security. If this video gave you information you did not have before, please do one thing right now: share it. Share it with your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your neighbors, anyone you know who depends on a pension payment every month. One share from you could save someone hundreds of dollars they had no idea they were losing. If you are not yet subscribed to Global Updates 24, subscribe right now and turn on notifications because we cover these updates every week and missing one could cost you. Hit the like button to help this video reach more Canadian seniors who need this information. Leave a comment below and tell us, which part of today's update surprised you the most? We read every single comment. Thank you for watching Global Updates 24. Stay informed, stay protected, and we will see you in the next one.